guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to achieve a typical Instagram PLouise Mitchell style makeup. It's actually surprisingly easy to follow. There are a lot of steps and there's a lot of blending, so this is a look that's going to take you a large portion of time, so make sure you do it when you have that bit of time, or just practice maybe on one eye. But it's definitely a time-consuming look. There's a lot of detail, a lot of blending, but it's not too difficult, I promise you. So this is the detail up close. We have a couple of different blends. We have some very intense highlighter, contour. It's a very, very heavy look, but it's your typical like social media style look. So yeah, I have some like really, really helpful tips. I'm sorry, I know myself, like when I go back and edit this, I'm not as chatty as I normally am. I think all of our moods are just feeling a little bit deflated at the moment. I just wanted to get in and play with a bit of colour, and just for my own sanity, and this is something that you guys ask for all the time. So yeah, it was really, really enjoyable, and I actually feel a million times better after doing it. So although my mood is low starting off, I'm in great form now. So I highly recommend sitting down, having a play around with some colours. Most of you guys will have this palette. I use the Carnival palette, some Revolution yellow brow pomade, but you can mix a bit of yellow eyeshadow with Duraline, and that'll give you a yellow liner, because not everyone's going to have a yellow pomade lying around. I certainly wouldn't, only for I have the Academy. So yeah, have fun, play around with colour. If you do recreate this look, make sure and tag me. I'm going to leave my Instagram down below. Any of the products that I've spoken about will be listed below, and until the next time, I'll see you soon. Bye! So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to brush through the brows with a spoolie. We're going to leave the brows right until the end, but we're just going to neaten them up as much as we can. And we're going to pop our PLouise base onto the eyelid. This one is in shade Rumour 2, and I'm going to pop that on the back of my hand. You need a good amount of this for your eyeshadow base, like a good pea-sized amount. And then we're using our Mr. Price brush, which is just the best find ever. And we're going to pat that all over the lid. And we're also going to pat that out beyond the lid into the temple area and above the brow, because we are going to wing the shadow out. Right into that inner corner. Making sure it's nice and even, and you're just going to pat, pat, pat until it becomes a little bit tacky and it loses a lot of its shine. The PLouise base performs like no other eyeshadow base, and God, I wish I was paid to say that, but I'm not paid to say anything is good. I never have been. Basically, my job as a makeup teacher is to teach people how to do makeup and to figure out the easiest methods and the quickest methods and how to get more clients in and quicker and all of that kind of stuff. So this is the best eyeshadow base, and there's no doubt about it, and anybody that uses it and uses it correctly will agree with me. So you want to pat that all over and get it really, really, really nice and opaque. Like what I love about this PLouise base is even these really, really red spots, like it's full coverage. Now obviously I'm just using what's left of my brush, but it has taken a lot of that redness out. So it will cover up a lot of the veins that peep through on the eyelid, any discoloration, anything like that, and it just gives you a nice, flawless, smooth base to work on. Okay, now I'm going to use, I don't know where my Carnival palette is, but I have this sample palette that came with the like point of sale, so I just cut that off. Hey, they work perfectly. So the first colour I'm going to work with is the navy blue, because that one's just the easiest one to work with. So that one's called Mood, on a little pencil brush or a bullet brush. And we are going to place that right here. So higher than the natural crease. Can you see how well that performs? Now don't worry about the underneath, because we are going to carve out that crease, but we want it nice and neat on the top so we can get a nice blend on the go. So it needs to be the same amount of colour the whole way across. So can you see that that's kind of patchy? So we want to omit any patchiness. So holding it right up at the top, like a pencil, you get more pressure down and it's more precise and way more intense. So then we are going to blend that out with Make Waves, which is the next one. So half on the PLouise base and half on the navy blue. We're going to blend that out. And then I'm just going to get a clean blending brush and just buff the edge of that so it just fades into nothing. And then I'm going to go back to my first brush and layer up that mood colour again. So what we're doing is we're just working back and forth between a couple of different brushes and the two different colours until we get that seamless blend. Now I'm going to go into this brush, which I got from Hairspray, and I'm dipping into Wasted, which is that purple shade. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing this slightly over that navy and bringing it down. So we've got that purple fading in nicely there, and then on the edge of that purple I'm dipping into Funky, which is a neon pink, and we're going half on the purple and half on the base. And then on the edge of that pink I'm adding a touch of yellow, which is called Keen, and then back over that pink, and that'll create a lovely orange sunset effect. And then using a brush for a different colour, we're going to dip into, I actually have no clue what this colour is, but it's the dark green. I've cut off the shade name. I'll find out what it is online, I'll leave it down below here. And then I'm going to join that in here. Not going to worry too much about the blend kind of underneath here, because I'll work on that when we go back in after we carve out our crease. And I'm going into this one, which is called the Hype. And then into, I have no clue what this one is, but it's a neon green one. I feel like it's called Limelight, but no, it's not called Limelight. I don't know what it's called. So we're just going back and forth until we get a nice blend. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get a drop of our Duraline, and we are going to use our flat concealer brush. We are going to carve out. And we've got a nice sharp line then for us to apply our yellow. One of the Revolution ones, so this is the Revolution Pro in Lemon Yellow. And again, I'm going to drop some Duraline into it. I was looking for that brush for ages, it was on the ground. This is a Jessup brush. This is the JE11 Easy Liner. You can use any bent liner brush, or to be honest, anything that you find doing a nice sharp line works best with. So I'm just getting that nice, easy to work with consistency. Take off the excess in the back of your hand and shape your brush. So what you want to do is you want to roll the brush, get all the bristles nice, sharp and pointy. I'm going to bring this mirror up closer. Okay, so once you've got your line nice and neat on the top, we're going to clean up the underneath section. So again, we're going to use our Duraline. If there's one thing I recommend every makeup lover buy, it's Duraline from Inglot. And I'm pretty sure I got an email to say that there's 25% off. You only need the tiniest drop. A little bit goes a long, long way with it. And it's definitely necessary for any of these kind of looks. And then our favourite part, which is our PLouise base again. Okay, so for this edge, what we're going to do, we're going to pat this base out here. And then we're going to use a clean brush and we're just going to fluff along here. So those colours will blend in nice and easily. Basically, we don't want any like sharp lines of where the base ends. So it needs to blend seamlessly into these shadows. And then we're just going to apply the shadows back in. So I'm going to go into that green colour. And see this fall down on my cheek? That's why we haven't done our foundation just yet. Into that navy. Back into our purple, which is called Wasted. back into that neon pink, which is called Funky. And then into Keen, which is our yellow. Now I'm just going to get a wipe and I'm going to clean underneath, and we're going to do the same with the under eye area. So basically just the exact same colours underneath. So what I'm going to do right before I do that is I'm going to pop a little bit of that yellow into my inner corner. Then what I did is I went over it with the Helen E Neon Yellow. I don't know what this one's called. I don't find it great, but it will just give the little pop of neon that I want in here. So for the lashes, I'm actually going to show you guys a little trick. So I'm using the same lashes that I used from AliExpress, but I have two pairs. And what I'm doing is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Okay, so that's one lash, that's the second lash. I'm lining them up by their lash bands and sticking them together to create a wispy, thick double lash. Then I'm going to snip off the excess. Now, while that lash is drying, I'm going to do my brows. So I'm going to use the little feather technique. So this is the Revolution Brow Pomade in the shade Chocolate. Oh, I just touched some foundation off me here. So I've just finished off my eyes completely. I'm going to start my base. So the foundation that I'm using is MAC NC 25 in the Studio Fix Fluid, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pat it into the skin. So when I went to the PLouise Academy, they only use this foundation, so obviously they have different shades, but they only use the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, and they bounce it into the skin like this, and they leave this section underneath the eyes and across the nose blank for the concealer. So I'm going to do exactly that. Okay, so I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in shade 10, and we are going to put that all over this area. And I'm going to use a smaller version of that same brush to work under the eye area. I'm going to bounce that in as well. So for these types of Instagram, like social media type looks that aren't really that wearable, they tend not to put a whole lot of powder on them because it doesn't need to really seal the makeup in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to powder under my eyes. I'm not going to powder the rest of my face. So basically they want the contour and everything to be really, really bright, so they don't tend to set those areas. But that's only kind of for like a social media style look, so it's only for really taking a picture of it. So I'm going to use my same powder that I always use, the Pennies one, and just pop that under my eye area. So by not setting the other areas, it means that our contour is going to be much brighter, our blush is going to be much brighter, and our highlight. So I'm going to go in with the bronzer, the Note bronzer that I use a lot. And we're going to do a lot of bronzing with this. And then the forehead. They also do the jawline a lot. Now the nose contour is a big thing, so we're going to pop a lot of bronzer here, just right at kind of the tip of the nose, and blend that in. And the same on the other side. Okay, blush is huge at the PLouise Academy, so I'm going to use the Aphrodite palette and I'm going to use Worship. Okay, so it kind of is to be blended into where you have your contour. So contour into the blush. And same on the forehead. Sides of the nose and a little bit on the chin. And then the highlighter. I'm going to go into the Doll Beauty highlight. Now mine is smashed a bit, so that's why I'm being cautious of it. . So they tend to put the highlighter on in little circles where the light's going to hit it for a photograph. So obviously you're not going to send a client out with like a dot of highlighter on their nose here, but it'll photograph better when you have the face angled, so that's why they do it like that. Now you can spray your face with setting spray to make that even more blinding. So I'm going to use my Spice Lip Liner by MAC. I'm going to sharpen it so it's nice and sharp. And I'm going to do that typical point that they do on the Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to use this MAC lipstick called Pure Zen. And I'm going to pop that gloss over it, the one that I love, the e.l.f. one.